Hi, Michael. It's wonderful to see you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I'm excited today to talk about the fourth annual Fluke Safety Survey because it reveals opportunities to improve safety, but there's also a lot of other interesting findings that I'd like to talk to you about. So let's start by having you tell me about some of the key findings and takeaways from the survey and if you found anything that was surprising to you.
Yeah, well, like you had mentioned, we're in our fourth year of conducting the survey, and it's a global survey representing regions from around the world. And it's a great opportunity for us at Fluke to get insight and identify trends on a variety of workplace safety related topics. But the key part is that we get to hear from the customers who want to add any additional feedback and responses to said questions. And really it's their voice, the written responses that we get, they add another layer to the survey and help to define the results. So when we're talking about things that key elements, I think it's always positive to see the trending numbers that are moving in the right direction. And for example, compared to like the previous years, there's an upward trend and a deeper trust from electricians regarding company safety culture, which rose nearly 4%. And pair that, nearly 70% responded that they agree or strongly agree that most electricians do use test tools accurately rated for their environments. And that could be like cat rated or category voltage ratings. But that begs a question, for roughly, so 70% responded they agree. For the 30% that didn't agree, are there available properly rated test tools? Are they accessible for electricians in the workplace? So are they informed on how to choose the proper tool for the environment that they'll work in? So it's kind of like that education factor along with safety that kind of ties in with some of the results that we're getting. And really my biggest surprise, it came from the innovative technologies. And, they're agreeing that these electricians, the innovative technologies are making their work environment safer. And this was only our second year asking this question, but we saw 32% strongly agree in 2022, and that jumped up to 80% agree that innovative technologies make their environment safer. So drastic difference, but definitely a positive trend that we like to see.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And it's probably part of the smart technology, smart manufacturing move has to happen for all manufacturers.
Mm-hmm.
So
Definitely.
I'm interested in some specific findings besides what you just talked about, which were fascinating, actually. So I'm going to talk about a few key ones, and then you tell me what you think about them,
Sure.
how they reflect. So tell me about this finding that only 29% of workers believe most companies provide adequate electrical safety training.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see that 29%, and yeah, it seems fairly low. But what I also look at, that means that the other 71% feel that better or more electrical safety training is needed at most companies as well. And this is important for us to know because safety training, it not only benefits the individual electrician, but also the coworkers around them. So it's kind of like that safety culture that we were talking about earlier. And this response, it makes sense because in another question, we got an 89.5% response of agree or strongly agree, where electricians see an opportunity to improve electrical safety in the workplace. So it appears that there's this larger group of electricians where they feel most companies do not provide adequate training. And the survey shows that workers are aware of this and potentially either they are or they need to speak up.
In fact, I was going to ask you about that. The 89.5% see opportunities to improve, and also 56% of workers have ideas on how to make the industry safer. It'd be interesting to know if they actually feel that they can take those to their leaders, to their managers. But what do you think of that statistic?
Yeah, and because I already spoke on the 89.5, but the 56%, that's over 50% state that they have ideas on how to make the industry safe. So when I hear that, I think employers, they need to look to the employees for suggestions or advice on how to improve the overall safety of the day-to-day workplace. So these are the people, they're on the job site, they're getting the job done. So who better to ask at that point? they would know the ins and outs on how to complete a task, how to do it safely and efficiently. They see, they hear things, and it's if they have ideas, I mean, that can only benefit the overall company, which could entail keeping the individuals, electricians safe and their coworkers safe. So I see that as a benefit when we see the 56%. That's only can help the companies grow.
Mhm. And how about this finding? After seeing a shift toward the negative response to this question for the past 3 years of the Fluke survey, in the 2023 study this year, workers said that they have more trust in the culture of safety they're seeing within most companies. What do you think this reflects, seeing more trust?
Yeah, I see this, and there was another sort of result where we got 99.4% believe that a strong culture of safety is important to keeping workers safe. So when we talk about like culture of safety, this reflects on the everyday work life, like that environment within the company. So this isn't just about, individuals taking a safety course or, putting up safety signs. There's definitely a benefit to that. But in most cases, it's more than just about an individual job. The culture is built into a way of working, and it's the expectation that one might have to watch out for each other and to keep each other safe. So that being said, I mean, this culture, it's more of a lifestyle. It's implemented with safety at its core. And there is a positive trend. I think it's going in the right direction. And with more companies, these electricians are adopting the idea of a culture of safety. And I think that's great.
Yeah, it can never be too safe.
Yeah.
What about the finding that 73% believe electricians sometimes skip using the proper PPE?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, this is one of the ones I hate to use the term, but I'm always shocked whenever I hear this stat. I mean, but
yeah.
I mean, just like having a properly rated test tool for an environment you're working in, PPE is just as essential. I understand, there are scenarios where one might believe that they're inconvenient, and that seemed to be a more common trend. Either they're too bulky, they're too cumbersome, or even too hot in certain climates. But it's this stuff, it's the PPE that keeps them safe and gets them home at the end of the day. So this can also tie back to the safety culture, where deadlines, pushing those electricians to work faster, that's something we don't want, but we can't have management pushing electricians to work faster to meet these timelines. And that's where mistakes and shortcuts tend to form. So a safety culture should allow workers to take time, grab the right tools and grab the proper PPE. And when I say take time as well, it could also include, taking the time to train the individuals to create that culture.
Mm-hmm. Well, after seeing these results and the results from previous Fluke annual surveys, what do you want electrical safety professionals to know about?
Yeah, we've kind of hit it multiple times, but we need to continue to promote a strong safety culture. Safety needs to start with education. And when electricians are following proper procedures and creating safe habits, this will be seen by other electricians. It could encourage them to take the same steps and adopt the same procedures. So it's kind of having that influence. It could be someone more experienced to the newer apprentices or the newer electricians, the tradesmen. So coupled with that, I mean, employers, we mentioned earlier, employers need to ask their electricians on how to make the industry a safer place to ensure improvements continue, and that new electricians will not only accept it, but that they'll live it daily. So this would include also, knowledge sharing, developing skills, whether it be through training or seminars. And kind of the last thing is, within these trainings is getting these electricians properly trained on equipment and the right tools and wearing the right PPE for the task at hand, for the particular environment that they're in. And this is everything that's essential for the day-to-day safety within their workplace. And we, as a company at Fluke, with safety being our priority, like we want to make sure that these electricians are going home at the end of the day.
Well, and I can see that's why you're doing the survey, to see what's going on out there and try to help the industry. So thank you for doing that.
For sure.
And for our listeners, I've got a link in the episode description so you can go see all the results of the survey. And you'll be doing another one in June.
Mhm.
next year. So I always look forward to those results. And thank you so much, Mike, for being here. This is really informative and helpful. And I look forward to talking to you again, perhaps in the future.
Thank you. Yeah, I look forward to that.
And for our listeners, we appreciate you listening and watching on YouTube. And make sure you check out all the links in the episode description. I'm Theresa Houck with the Journal Magazine, and we'll chat again soon.